Hey, good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sundays, and welcome back to Starcub Review. I'm your host, as always, Starcub, and on today's agenda, I have two reviews incoming, and they are long-awaited book reviews for two books that I have finally finished. Both of them I have done with audiobooks, so that was one of the ones I wanted to do. But these two books are ones I've been wanting to read for ages and ages and ages, and I finally got around to doing it, and I've been getting into audiobooks a lot more lately along with the books. So it's fantastic for me to read through it and immerse myself in it a lot more than just reading it without any audio, without the audiobook. So it makes it it makes it better for me to engage with certain books. So that's what I have on the agenda for today. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you after the credits roll. Alrighty, everybody, I'm back. Now, on today's agenda, I am going to have it'll be two book reviews, long awaited. One of them being, this review is on Stephen King's sequel, Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining. And all I can say about this book is, wow. I am absolutely blown away by this book. I have never read it before. I have seen the movie by Mike Flanagan, and let me tell ya, Mike Flanagan, his version of Dr. Sleep, fucking amazing. Absolute masterpiece. But when it comes to Stephen King's book, Dr. Sleep, from start to finish, I was mesmerized. Whether it be the cruelty, most terrifying group in the book, the True Knot, and Rose the Hat being at the center, being the boss of the True Knot. Absolutely terrifying from start to finish. The True Knot, described in the book, is absolutely terrifying. They're just brutal, right to the point. Every page that they come into, when you read about them on the page, is absolutely terrifying. Where they're going next, what they're doing. It's absolutely terrifying. And the movie version of The True Knot, and especially Rose the Hat, Mike Flanagan did such an amazing job of capturing the terrifying group that feed on steam from people that show they like a special in the way like The Shining, and they call it steam. So they are very, very terrifying, and Stephen King also does an amazing job of the continuing story of Dan Torrance, the horrors that he goes through at the Overlook Hotel. Wendy Torrance, his mother, she's in and it's tragic how she's written, but it really does highlight that Stephen King knows his shit when it comes to trauma, terrifying images, being scared shitless. He did it with such ferocity, such skill, such masterclass, and the way Danny becomes an alcoholic and a drug addict, all the while still trying to cope with his trauma, what he went through at the Overlook. What Wendy Torrance goes through. So, and then obviously there's the added character of Abra Stone, who becomes a huge plot point in the book. But the film version of Abra Stone is not the same as the book version of Abra Stone, in the way that in the book, Abra Stone, there is a very, very deep connection to Danny Torrance, which is not in the film, so that changed. And the fact that Abra Stone in the book is white, and in the movie she's black. So they had to change things up, but it also, Mike Flanagan had to work around the fact that they had to make it a true sequel to, obviously, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, for it to make complete sense, but change some of the aspects of it, because it just made more sense when you watch Dr. Sleep why it was done that way. But the stuff that Stephen King has written in his book, Dr. Sleep, and the stuff that's in the movie, there's a lot of stuff that is very, very faithful to the book. A lot of it is. But then some of it, they've had to work around and change up a bit. So I understand that, but both versions are absolutely amazing. But there is a lot in this book that really, the ending to the book should have been in the movie, because let's just face it, in the movie I did not like the way the ending was, and I'm kind of a little bit peeved that Mike Flanagan chose to go that route. So spoiler alert, anyone that doesn't want to watch from this point on needs to turn away now. So at the end of Dr. Sleep, Danny Torrance's ending is different. Rather than him surviving the Overlook and the True Knot, he actually sacrifices himself to save Abra Stone. So he is now dead. Whereas in the book, he actually is still alive and he helps Abra Stone. And there's a big connection to Abra Stone, like I said, but you'll need to read the book in order to get it, to fully understand what I'm saying. There's so many differences. But other than that, the book scared the absolute bejeebers out of me. There were so many just unimaginable horrors, especially the ones that feature the True Knot. There's some particular scenes that may be very, very distressing, and we all know it's Stephen King, so everyone knows how Stephen King writes, and involving kids and all of that. But there's some scenes in here that are distressing when the True Knot go after kids, and it is described in the book. The death scenes are horrific. They are shocking, but it works for the context of the content. As brutal as it is, it's very, very. It is very, very confronting. But just the way that it's written and the way that it's handled as well makes it so terrifying. And I was honestly gobsmacked at how graphic some of the death scenes are. I'm just like, oh my god, this is really graphic. But with Stephen King, you're going to get that. Gruesome death scenes involving kids, involving adults, so you're going to expect that. So I knew going in there was going to be, but I just did not realize it was going to be that graphic. But other than that, Dr. Sleep, from start to finish, scared the absolute bejeebers out of me. Had me on the edge of my seat. So much respect for Stephen King bringing back Dan Torrance, and us going through Danny Torrance's journey as an adult, because it makes it so much more interesting going back to a story that, like The Shining, and seeing where Danny is now all these years later, and do other people like him, which is in the book and it's explained in the movie as well, that there's so many other people out there that all of us have some sort of shining, but the ones that are special are the ones that embrace and really discover that shining, and then they're able to, use that more and understand it more, like Danny, like Abra Stone. So they're trying to, it's all a case of, everyone has it, but not everyone knows what it is, and some people will never access it and stuff like that. So it's really interesting, those concepts as well, and the fact that it's so real to see Dan Torrance actually struggle as an adult with alcohol, with drugs, with everyday life, working in a hospice, still wanting to turn off that whole shining ability, but can't because, you know, he's using it to, you know, help people pass on into the afterlife and stuff like that. So there's a lot of those struggles. Abra Stone's story is absolutely kick-ass, absolutely amazing, and I full-heartedly, the whole way reading it and reading Abra Stone's chapters and sections, and her story intertwining with Dan Torrance's, intertwining with the True Knot, is fantastic. It had me just really, really appreciating the fact that Dr. Sleep is probably one of my favourite books by Stephen King, hands down. Just and especially the audiobook. I read the audiobook by the publisher was Penguin, and I can honestly say the audiobook made it so much more immersive, engrossing, shocking, because you really got a sense as when you're reading, but hearing how graphic you know, the death scenes are, or how graphic some of the scary scenes are, just the immense intenseness of it, and just like every single word and page that the guy was reading in the audio book is just, it makes you want to turn your head around and go, what did I just hear a noise? It really puts you in that state, and especially me reading it more so at night time too, it really made me feel more and more engrossed, sitting in my bed, listening to it, and really like just imagining myself being there and seeing it all as if I'm watching a film. And it was absolutely amazing. And what more can I say? Dr. Sleep, absolutely amazing. For anyone that hasn't read Stephen King, Dr. Sleep is absolutely amazing. Now, like I said, I've seen the film, but I never read the book until now. Over the last couple of days, I'll actually finish this 3 days ago, but I had been reading it for almost 4 days. So I really, really immersed myself in it. And I can honestly say that it is so much better reading it with an audiobook. Some books, obviously, you're not going to get that, so you have to read it without the audiobook. But Dr. Sleep, hands down, one of my favorites. Never read the book until now. Seen the film. I've seen the original Shining movie, Stanley Kubrick's, but I've never read Stephen King's The Shining. So that is probably going to be, down the track, I will read The Shining to see what the differences were with that. And I know there's so many differences because I've seen the documentaries and I've seen the interviews and that Stephen King said that Stanley Kubrick, he had disdain for that film because of the fact that Stanley Kubrick went his own way and it made it feel like it wasn't a Stephen King film at all. So I will get to that and I will read The Shining because I have the audiobook for The Shining as well. So I will get to that after I've read the next couple of books that I have lined up for reviews. But Dr. Sleep, everybody, 10 out of 10, fantastic. Everyone needs to read it. Absolutely scared the shit out of me. Hands down, absolutely scared the shit out of me. So that's that review down. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell to keep up to date with all my content. Just want to say a huge thank you to everyone new to my channel, that are subscribed to my channel, and just watching my videos in general. Thanks so much, guys. You don't know how much it means to me to see new subscribers and people interacting in the comment section. It's absolutely fantastic. It brightens up my day completely. I really like seeing the interaction, and I really like seeing that people are liking my videos as well. While they may not reach everybody, and they may not be everyone's taste. I'm doing my best to make sure that I can be accommodating to everybody, at least, with the stuff that I have. So thanks to everyone new and everyone returning and watching my channel. You know I all love and appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. This is review one down, and I'll have the second review for book 2. My next book, exciting book, I'll have up, which I finished yesterday. I'll have up very, very soon. All right, guys. Ciao.